I'm Duane Graham. I'm the owner of Summer Lake Hot Springs here in Paisley, Oregon Outback area of Oregon, the high desert. Uh, I've owned it for about 18 years now. Uh, Lived in Portland when I bought it and moved down here about 9 years ago. Building more cabins, just kind of making a little business out here in the desert.
So, what are the big attraction here? Is the hot springs? What are the hot springs like?
Yeah. Well, there's some springs, 4 or 5 springs that surface on the land here. They're artesian hot mineral springs. They come from about a mile deep, and they just kind of surface on their own through these little vents, and the faults in the earth get pushed up, and they flow out here. A couple of them flow into the Bathhouse, which was built in the 20s. Kind of rustic mineral pool of sorts. Got showers and bathrooms and changing rooms. The water flows in about 115 degrees, and then the pool's about 103 or so. It's high in silica and some other minerals. It feels really silky on your body when you get out. And then we have some little outdoor soaking tubs right behind the bathhouse. And one of those, the same water. A couple of the other ones are different water, which is a little different mineral contents. A few of these springs surface within hundreds of feet of one another, but totally different mineral contents. But they all feel good. The hottest one's about 118 degrees.
And besides the springs, what else is here on the property?
Well, there's 145 acres here. The springs are the foundation of it all. That's kind of what gets people out here for healing, and just kind of everyone needs a little personal time out. Come out to the desert. There's stars at night are amazing, stargazing, rock hounding out here. There's a Summer Lake Wildlife Refuge 20 miles to the north. A lot of birds migrate through. It's just kind of big sky country. People can come out and uh, let themselves be and just kind of be out here in nature.
And where do people stay when they're here? What kind of facilities do you have?
Well, we have a campground, so there's tent camping. Then we have some full hookup RV sites as well. But the main attraction is the little cabins, geothermally heated cabins. They're all radiant floor heat with the hot water circulating through the floor. So in the winter, it's really toasty. It can be 5 degrees outside. You come back from the bathhouse, open the door of the cabins, and it's 70 degrees in there. It feels really comfortable. So that's turned it into a year-round business. It used to be in the winter, business would just dry up unless people have a place to stay out here. Wasn't really the opportunities, but the wintertime is really nice out here. It's you get the cool nights, cool days, that crisp air, and then the hot water just feels all the better. So we have little cabins now, and we're building more cabins, some Pumice Creek cabins. Pumice is from the Crater Lake eruptions, about 100 miles west of here, and near Chamal. I get it shipped here. And pumice is it's an airborne volcanic eruption, so there's a lot of entrapped air. And what it becomes is this lightweight concrete. Instead of using sand and aggregate, you use the pumice, and you get really good insulating value. No thermal breaks in the wall. It's a poured wall with rebar. The walls are about a foot thick. And then you just stucco the inside and the outside of them there.
Hmm.
They all have kitchens and bathrooms, bedrooms, and then kind of a little eclectic mix of furniture and other stuff there.
Now, how do you maintain the place? Who helps you out here?
Well, we have a little crew. The big work part is the housekeeping here. That's the part that has to get done every single day. So we have a little crew of housekeepers that come in from Paisley and help out and do the housekeeping and cleaning and stuff. And then there's some other people that work the office and greet the customers. And then there's and then all the groundskeeping. In the summertime, there's a lot of mowing and weed eating, picking up debris after little windstorms and stuff, and just kind of maintaining. We have some horses here, so there's a little feeding that goes on every day and stuff too.
Now, tell me about the history of the place. You said the bathhouse goes back to the 20s.
Bathhouse built in the 20s. Back then, it was the roaring 20s. And the cars were coming into play. They'd been around about 20 years or so. The road systems were being created, so you could finally get out of the city more than just a horse ride away. So a lot of these little springs that developed for healing purposes and stuff. Some of them took off, but I think this one was just so far out, it was so isolated, that it pretty much became a local hangout for a lot of cowboys and other people working out in this area. And then it was condemned by the state in the 50s. So the McDaniels bought it in the 50s, and they worked, and they built a little ranch here. The barn just a little bit to the north here had this geothermal heated barn. They had like 500 chickens that they raised in there. But back then, everything the McDaniels did with the piping and stuff, the alkali from the ground and the chemicals from the water, or the minerals from the waters, have just eaten up all the pipes. So pretty much what they did lasted about 20 years or so. So I've redone all the infrastructure work, put all the electricity underground, new water lines, new septic field, all that stuff. All the infrastructure is in place now. Electricity at the road. So that's kind of the history. It's kind of going through a new rebirth right now with people coming out, and just the cities are so crowded and just wanting to get out and come out and experience a little bit of Oregon that most people don't have a clue even exists out here. And this part of Oregon is part of the Great Basin of the United States. It's the Great Basin comprises a little bit of Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and it's where all the rivers flow into these big basins, but nothing flows to the sea. It's kind of this big landlocked region that's pretty unique. And another unique part of this, the high desert out here, most deserts, there's just no water, but here, numerous places, it's pretty high groundwater, so you get plants and stuff that flourish out here.
So, do you know who built the bathhouse in the 20s, the name of the family or the people who...
It's in some books. Some guy's uncle from Tennessee came out and did the concrete work. Took him a winter, and the concrete's in really good shape, I think, because it's always at a constant temperature. Since I've owned it for 18 years, we've had the bathhouse drained for 2 days. That's the most. Every other day, it's been like constant temperature, full. So the concrete never varies. And for being as old as it is, it's in really good shape. The wood structure, we've done some repairs too, but the foundation of it's all pretty good.
So it's been a public hot springs available to the public for almost 100 years.
Right. And in the 50s, they got the name Summer Lake Hot Springs, the business name through the state. And they kind of ran it as, it was more of a hunting camp at that point. Hunting was really big out here. They hadn't logged all the forest yet, so there was a lot more wildlife. But all that's changed, in the 80s and 90s, and tourism now. They almost sell more espressos and lattes in Lake County than they sell barbed wire now.
So if people want to come visit, how are they going to find you?
Well, we have a website, summerlakehotsprings.com, and we're 2 miles or 2 hours southeast of Bend. in Highway 31. It's a National Scenic Byway, and we're about 92 miles from Highway 97. When you turn off, you go south of Bend 30 miles through La Pine, and then the Oregon Scenic Byway starts, and that's Highway 31. So you just go through Summer Lake and another 20 miles, and mile marker 92 here.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.